Hey, it's Christine with 90, and we're going to go through how to use the one-on-one tool for performance improvement plans. There's two main options here. You can use the People Analyzer or you can use the quarterly review process. With the People Analyzer, we'll start over there. It's the first tab on our one-on-one tool. When you find the person's name that you're looking to start that performance improvement plan with, what we're going to do here is use this mainly as a tracking system. So on each person's name, when I click on it, I can see over time the reviews that they have gotten. To add a new one to this list, I'll close out the sidebar, I'll click review, and this opens up the ability to evaluate them based on the core values and GWC for their accountability chart sheet. So the core values are auto-filled based on what's on your VTO. And as I fill these out, I get a proactive prompt in the top right to show me if this is the right person or the wrong person. So the bar is right here. This is signifying if somebody is above the bar or below the bar. We can see here how many minuses and how many plus minuses we will tolerate as a company set up in the company settings. And so in this instance, if I do move it to a minus, it signifies the wrong person. In this example, let's say I've got the right person, but I have the wrong seat. So if I scroll down a bit, I can see the accountability chart seat. I get a description for that seat. And same thing, maybe they get it, maybe they don't want it, but they have the capacity to do it. Still the wrong seat. I can click again to see what would signify above the bar behavior. It needs to be all three yeses. So I have a right person, wrong seat. I can keep scrolling down and can see that information here. And I can also write any comments in. So maybe, why is this PIP starting? What do we need to see improvement around? Action plan, any sort of additional comments you can see through this form. We only have the one simple rich text entry here. And when you complete it, it is one way. So meaning I completed that review. It is now on Abby's reviews. So when I click on her name, I can see the one that I just filled out for her. I would be able to see any notes that I typed in there in the event that I did that. And now it's on her record. And depending on the cadence that I want to do these performance improvement review conversations, I would just continue to click that button of review every week, every 2 weeks, once a month, depending on the cadence that you guys have set up as a company. If I go to my quarterly review process, this is where I would come in and create a quarterly review. So if I didn't want to just do the one-way People Analyzer, this is the back and forth conversation where when I create this quarterly review, it's going to set up a conversation for both of us to fill out a form and then meet together and see our responses side by side. So in this scenario, I might say maybe this is the first conversation of 3, so you could say 1 of 3, however you choose to name this internally. I would choose the time frame. This is going to help me pull up the right data, so the right set of rocks and to-dos, measurables, all from the person as they've been working. And then the due date I would put in here is the day I want to have the conversation. When I do select the person from the list, let's just say it's Abby again, it'll autofill the accountability chart seat, and I can go to settings here and turn off the manager evaluation. So me, when I fill out the form, I will still see evaluating Abby and then evaluating myself for LMA. But when Abby goes in, she will just have a self-evaluation. So there won't be anything for her to fill out about me as the manager. So I'll go ahead and create this review. Once it is created, you can also edit the custom questions on this review. So when I click on it, there is a settings icon up here in the top right. And maybe instead of key accomplishments for the period, these are kind of my generic questions that I would have in just a normal quarterly conversation. I may want to add things that are more specific to my performance improvement plan. So what are the next action steps I'm going to take? What are the measurables that we're tracking against? So any of those specific questions related to the plan, you can add all of those here. You can add as many as you'd like to, and those are all rich text entry. So if I do start this form, I didn't save any of those custom questions, but you can see it's very similar where in the core values, it pulls in GWC for the accountability chart seat. I now see some performance data from Abby with the rocks, to-dos, and measurables she's taken on over that time frame. And then because this is me as the manager viewing it, I do have the LMA and the management assessment. She would only see the top area to go through and review herself. But once we do both complete these forms, we will come back to this main page. We can see them side by side when we see the start meeting button. And so that allows us to go through each of our results, talk about those, have a signature at the end of the meeting, and have all of this documented in the system. So if you do have questions about using 90 for performance improvement plan and having everything documented in one place, just reach out and let us know how we can help. Thanks.